agree to disagree, and somewhere that went wrong. And I'm trying to work it back now with talking to different groups that might otherwise think that they see opposite to me, to find a common point of interest or a common ground and work from there, because I think we all have the best interest of Mendocino County at heart and the best interest of the citizens. And I think we can find that common ground and work outwards from there.
Thank you. Mr. McGowan.
I've worked to build consensus on every board and organization that I've been a part of. I have the reputation for being able to work with anyone. I'm very aware that any success that I might have is dependent upon the support of other people. How do you get their support? You have to be willing to work with them. I think it's the responsibility of the Board of Supervisors or any other public body to work together to make decisions that are in the public interest. That doesn't mean everyone always agrees. It should mean that they're willing to openly discuss their differences, listen with an open mind, and try to find the middle ground, the common ground, so that they can make a decision, resolve the issue. The best decisions are often a compromise. If you're drawing a line in the sand and say, my way or no way, you're probably going to get no way. The issue doesn't get resolved, nothing gets done. The public mainly is just interested in seeing their public officials work together to resolve issues and provide services.
Thank you. Mr. Mayfield.
I do this every day in my line of business as a consultant, working with cities, counties, public utilities, and all the government agencies. We sit at a table or we have a phone conference. We work on every different aspect you can think of. We have disagreements on a regular daily basis, but we come up with the solutions to pass that. I've been a tribal negotiator and negotiated truces between tribes. I've also done this I've also worked inside the school district and found solutions to problems. But I do a solution thing, find solutions to problems every day in my business, and I work with all those agencies. You have to be able to disagree, come up with a solution that will turn around and work with all the facts and figures, and make it come about. And I do that every day.
Thank you. Ms. Clifton.
I started.
You started, didn't you?
But I will add more.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, one last question, and then we'll have our closing statements. What is the biggest issue facing the Ukiah Valley? And you only get one.
Thank gosh.
How's that for Mr. Mulheron? You get to start with that.
I think it's lack of a vital economy. It's lack of jobs, and it's going to get scary pretty soon. We're at the tail. There's a recession that started in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we're always the last to feel it. We're a little isolated from that. And I think you're going to see a lot of people that already are getting laid off or getting pink slips. The teachers are seeing layoff notices. The county workers are seeing health care go up. We're going to have to hurry up and turn this around. I don't think that we can wait another 25 years. There's going to be a lot of people here hurting pretty soon. So I'd say we need to hurry up and do our economic stimulus and start creating some jobs.
Thank you. Mr. McGowan.
Well, I think planning is the most critical issue currently. We've had a historically low growth rate for 20, 30, 40 years, 1% a year, 0.5% a year. We're currently on the brink of significant growth as soon as the economy rebounds. The developers from other areas have identified this as the next special place, I think. They have their plans for us. We need to have our plan for them. Most of us enjoy the small town character and quality of life that we presently enjoy. If we want to be able to continue enjoying that, we have to plan regionally, decide how we're going to accommodate new growth and development without significantly impacting in a negative way what we currently value. We will need city-county cooperation. We will need a tax sharing agreement. We need to work together.
Thank you. Mr. Mayfield.
Water. Water is the major.
One issue.
Water is the major concern. What's happening in Southern California and where we're going to wind up, if we do not turn around and protect our water rights, we will have nothing. We will have no economic development, and we will not have any housing. They'll resurrect the 1964 plan for taking water away from Mendocino County. This is how they were doing it. And let me tell you, we lost the water rights to the 99-year lease to the Colorado River is closing off. They've already cut down their avocado production by 30% by cutting the trees back, and they're talking about cutting it again. We do not have an adequate water supply. We must go and turn around and resolve that issue now. Water is the key.
Ms. Clifton.
The big issue and the key issue for our county is localizing our economy. What we have is a situation where our federal and state governments are not taking into account the increased costs of energy, declining energy resources. We as Mendocino County need to look out for our county and plan for our future in a sustainable way. And this isn't to mandate things, but as a county supervisor, when it comes to planning, when it comes to being very vigilant and aggressive with our water rights, we have to do this so that we set up for our economy to produce for us, the people, and not plan just solely on tourism. That will come with our thriving local economy. So we must provide for ourselves, support our local businesses, and work on localizing our economy.
Rebuttal for just a second. I'd like to comment on the growth factor. In 2007, the city of Ukiah grew by 15 people. It's hardly rampant growth. And the county grew by 500 people, which is 1/2 of 1%. We're nowhere near any type of rampant growth in this community.
Rebuttal?
Yes.
The city limits are artificially constrained because the city and county have not reached a tax sharing agreement. Therefore, there's been no annexation for 30 years. We're at gridlock.
Rebuttal. Because we haven't done anything. I mean, they're finally talking about and negotiating a tax deal now. I've been here and I've lived here my whole life with the city limits. We have a whale on the beach with the city council. I'm sorry, but that's it. We need to get something going, and we have to turn around and make about. The tax sales agreement is a must. It needs to be worked out and gone forward. But right now, we need to do something.
The City Council is on record 5-0 in support of revenue sharing. It's the board that is holding up progress. The board majority, I should say.
Okay, well, with that, we will let you each give your closing statement of 1 minute, and we'll start with Ms. Clifton.
Okay, well, thank you, National Women's Political Caucus, American Association of University Women, and the Ukiah Daily Journal for this forum. I would like the voters to see me as a biologist, somebody who works as a botanist, a wetland delineator, like Ross, working with state and federal laws, and I am somebody who sees the resources and has a broader view. I've lived all around the county, and I would like to see that the supervisor represent the district, but also look out for our county's interests. When I was in Monterey, I was a global studies major, and I think it's very important that we pay attention to the macro when it comes to our local economy. What's going on in the world is with the third world and the policies that our government is pushing is making us vulnerable, and that's why I'm promoting a localization approach. I have studied the big picture, and I am working locally as a farmer and a resource manager, so thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Mr. Mayfield.
Oh, you're going this way?
Well, we
okay.
went that way.
All right, we're going that way, we're going this way, all right. I would like to, I really want to solve the water issue as well as the jobs that we need to have come into our county, and as well as the housing issue. I am an employer and an employee. I know what it takes to turn around and create a business and bring businesses in. I've brought other businesses in, and we've worked on new businesses here in the county that we have brought into the area, as well as what I have outside of the city limits of Ukiah. That's a must. But if you don't have water, which is the key element here, if you don't have water, we won't have anything. And since 1950,